Hey, how are you?
Fine, thanks. How are you, Siddharth?
I'm fine, thanks, and yourself. And I'm looking forward to knowing more about Chinmaya Mission, if that's pronounced correctly.
Yes, Chinmaya Mission.
Chinmaya Mission. Okay, I want to know about it. Could you explain the core mission and philosophy of Chinmaya Mission?
Okay. Um, so Chinmaya Mission started by the devotees of our Puja Gurudev, Swami Chinmayananda ji. He was a journalist at first, also an atheist, and so his everything starts from his journey. And he went to Swami Shivanand in Rishikesh to expose how false they are. And in doing so, he realized that they're not false, and it brought out more questions in him. So the seeker and the devotee grew in him, and he came onto this path. And so Swami Shivananji inspired him, brought that out. And when Gurudev wanted to know more about the scriptures in detail, then Swami Shivananji referred him to Swami Tapovanji, who used to live in Uttarkashi in the Himalayas. So he went and he learned under Swami Tapovan Maharaj, and then Gurudev had a very burning desire that Hindus should know what our scriptures are.
Hmm.
So after he studied under Tapovanji, when he came down to the plains back to Rishikesh, and so this was his desire. And his first yajna, what we say yajna meaning our talks that we give on scriptures. So Gurudev coined the word yajna. Um, so his first talk was in Pune for about 100 days on converting Hindus to Hinduism. So he saw that the main problem with us were that we don't know our scriptures entirely to the depth that it is, and in all ways. And we should feel proud when I say I'm a Hindu. I should know what I stand for, what are the principles, why we say certain things, why certain things are done. So this is the vision of our Puja Gurudev, and he came down with this. And then over time, devotees thought that he should form some kind of organization. And so it was not actually Gurudev's idea, it was the devotees, and they came up with Chinmaya Mission. So, and Gurudev's motto is give maximum happiness to maximum people in minimum time. So, and his aim is to spread the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, which we have commentaries on our acharyas, very authentic commentaries, like Shankaracharya ji is there. And this is taught mainly in the mission. Okay, we have various classes, and Gurudev wanted to start a program where many people, many youth especially, can come and study for 2 years our Upanishads. Okay, Upanishads are our core teaching of Sanatan Dharma. So he wanted that. He wanted many people to study the Upanishads and Bhagavad Gita, Sanskrit, language of Sanskrit. That is a key to our scriptures. And then he started the 2 year, what we say, 2 year Vedant course. So in that 2 years, you study. It's intense study of proper Vedic chanting, proper meanings of various scriptures. Okay, Srimad Bhagavatam is there, the Bhagavad Gita is there, Ramcharitmanas is there, and all kinds of Upanishads. So this was intense teaching from our Gurudev, and from there, it's just spread out everywhere. So Chinmaya Mission is worldwide and quite popular in UK, US. There are many centers there. Here, of course, in South Africa, we are blessed to have a few centers. There's one here in Johannesburg, where I am, and
Oh,
our main one is in Durban, in Chatsworth. Okay, Chinmaya Shivam is there in Chatsworth, and we have one in Reservoir Hills and one in Cape Town.
okay. All right. So my next question is, how does the Chinmaya Mission approach spreading spiritual awareness in today's modern world?
Okay, so we have our classes. We try to go out as much as possible for classes. We have drawing room classes, once a month meeting with people. We have online, we have at the ashram, and we try to bring it in a very simple way. Gurudev's aim was to bring it in a very simple, in a language which people can understand. So people shouldn't shy away and say this is too difficult or I cannot understand. So so we try and go and bring it down uh, a lot to especially to youngsters. Like I remember when I first heard our Swamiji. So currently our head in South Africa is Swami Abhedananji, and he is formerly from India. He did his studies in India, and in 2006 he was, fortunately for us, he was posted here in South Africa, and he started with these classes. And I remember he used to come to various temples. He used to even come on campus. So when we were on campus, Swamiji used to come, and whenever you'll hear him, he is always, um, if he's talking to a youth, then you'll see that he is a youthful person. If he's talking to a child, then you'll think that he is like that. And the way he speaks to an elder, that is very different. So the approaches are very different when it comes to different age groups. Okay. So what we would basically, if we teach in a very serious class,
Mhm.
we will not do that in general public, you know. So what we'll do in campus, we will not do exactly what we do in the ashram. The study level is, the intensity level is slightly different. So we do have youth classes, we have classes for children in which you teach them basics. There's fun activities included. So things like that are there.
What are some of the major initiatives or projects that Chinmaya Mission is currently involved in?
Okay, currently in South Africa, we have a feeding scheme that's going on. It's called Narayan Feeding Scheme, Nourish to Flourish. So I'm not sure what was the old Rajput Hall in next to ISKCON in Chatsworth. Okay, so there was a Rajput Hall there, so that was given to Chinmaya Mission. So now it's called Chinmaya Annapurna, and from there the big project called Nourish to Flourish is going on, where they will feed every day about 2,000 people. And apart from the people that come there, they go to orphanages, they go to schools, and they have their set amount. So it recently we launched, we inaugurated it. Although it was going on for many years in the ashram itself, although at a smaller scale, where all the families were given hampers, were given short satsang, breakfast, lunch. So that happened every Saturday, and not the hampers were once a month. And then slowly they have shifted now to this property where it's happening at a bigger scale. So there's a cook from India, there's helpers, there's volunteers, and so that's going on. I think recently they have reached about just below 2,000 for schools only, apart from people. Yeah, so that is there at the moment.
What inspired you to join Chinmaya Mission, and how has the experience shaped your personal journey?
So the Swamiji, I had met Swamiji in our temples when I was very young. I was in school when I met him in a few temples, and I heard him at that time. And to be honest, I was never attracted to our scriptures. Not that there's anything wrong, but
Mm.
I just felt that there wasn't anyone to explain properly. So,
Mm.
so going to the temple, getting involved in a temple, that's okay, which my family was quite heavily involved in. But as a youngster, you get bored.
Mm.
Uh, you know, with the same things going on, when you start asking questions, you want something more. You want
Mm.
something more
Mm.
fulfilling. So
Mm.
when I heard Swamiji, he really makes you fall in love with the scriptures and make you appreciate what information, what guidance they can give. And
Mhm.
this really, really inspired me. And it helped me in my school years, it helped me in my campus years. So being with him, being with these classes, and there wasn't a time after that where you'd say that I'm feeling lost, or I don't have a place to go when I'm stressed, or I don't understand how I'm going to handle the situation. So that really, really inspired forward. And Swamiji was always with us and always available whenever we need, very approachable. So, and we enjoyed
Mhm.
we used to have youth camps. We used to have youth camps, and Swamiji used to be there. We used to have a very nice youth camp. We'll have discussion, um, fun activities, and the best part was our Q&A with Swamiji. And so that was really, we got to ask freely any question, and he would happily answer that to us.
Could you describe your role at Chinmaya Mission and what a typical day looks like for you?
So in 2015, Swamiji had inaugurated a 2-year Vedant course in South Africa. So what generally gets done? So our main headquarters is in Powai in Mumbai ashram.
Oh.
Sandipani is there. So there, that is a continuous. The courses are continuous there. The 2-year continuous Vedant course. So after one batch, another batch, like that. So that is continuous. So there's just one or two countries out of India that are doing. I know Trinidad and Tobago does Vedant course, and we in South Africa were actually the first to do the 2-year Vedant. It's a residential course, okay, and we had to stay in the ashram and abide by those
Mhm.
rules, those disciplines, um, being under watch, and so many things were there, and we were taught our Upanishads. Okay, we were taught
Mhm.
Sanskrit, we were taught chanting, we were taught basic pujas,
Mhm.
um, Bhagavad Gita, all of that, and we were trained to also give out the knowledge. So after that, we were given a choice: do you want to stay onto this path, or you want to go back and work and get married and all of that? So I chose to be on this path, and so ever since I have taken this Diksha, and then I became Brahmacharini. So Brahmacharini is that we stay in the ashram, we give out, we study ourselves, we do our own personal sadhanas in the day, and we do classes. So my role after that, I got posted to Johannesburg after that 2-year course. And so here I conduct classes. We have regular classes both on Vedant, Advait Vedant, Bhagavad Gita, Ramcharitmanas. Sanskrit classes are also there. And we try to bring some kind of chanting also in the Sanskrit class. And of course, our festivals are also done and celebrated. So yes, that is my role. My role here. So what it's put, I'm the head, not head Brahmacharini. The head is Swami Abhedananji, and we are all under him. And but I am just only a representative of Swamiji and Gurudev here. And yeah, and this is what we do.
How has working at Chinmaya Mission impacted your own spiritual or personal growth?
Uh, it is not. It's very different from saying working. When you work,
Sorry.
when you work, you earn.
True.
Mm, yeah, and we don't earn,
Of
and
course.
so quite heavily reliant on people's donations and things like that. So it's more of seva.
Hmm.
Okay, um, in working, it is more ego
Yeah,
and
yeah.
doership orientated. When we serve, we want to give that ego up. We want
Hmm.
to surrender.
Hmm.
So uh, what's it done for me is
Mhm.
that it taught me how to be with different kinds of people, and how to, some people have very challenging natures.
Hmm.
Some people are very sweet in their nature. So you get all kinds of people. Uh, so that helped me to grow and not have any expectation from anybody, and to be more um, open with people, and whoever comes, they can speak to me, I can speak to them. So that has also made me little bit more outgoing, although I'm not. But having being on this path, you have to speak to people, you have to.
Mm.
So that also broke me out of my shell. um, and also the shyness of speaking on a public platform. You have to get out of that. So a lot of things, it pushes you to get out of your limitations,
Mm.
or your imagined limitations. And so it helps you. I feel that every time you interact with somebody, it you learn something, you improve in your ways. We become more, that anger, that frustration, that tendency to get to tell somebody off immediately, all those things, it calms down. You've been more control, you're more peaceful with your mind, you know so that really, really, it helps you really grow for your spiritual journey, because you cannot afford to have a mind that is stuck on some issue, or stuck on somebody's behavior, stuck on someone's words, or this happened, that happened. So it allows you to easily go ahead, easily leave some issue, go ahead, accept it happily. And yeah, so it really, really helps you in this way.
What are some of the key programs offered by Chinmaya Mission, and who are they designed for?
So we have our monthly pujas. Like on the first Sundays, we have our Vishnu Sahasranam. Uh, on the third Sundays, we have Gayatri Havan. And here in Johannesburg, we have the same. And every Saturdays, we have Hanuman Chalisa chanting. Um, that is for everybody. That is for everybody. Although we do encourage, we like to encourage lots of youth for Gayatri Havan. Gayatri Mantra is very important for studies and things like that,
Mm.
and even Hanuman Chalisa. But everybody is welcome. Everyone can participate in that. Um, the Vedant classes, that is actually not for everybody.
Mm.
Uh, that you'll have to ask for permission before attending, because it's quite a serious study, and a person should be serious and sincere enough to continue and start that. So that, yes, that you require permission for. But classes like Bhagavad Gita, classes on Ramcharitmanas. So, like every month, we have what we say our Gyan Yajnas. Gyan Yajnas. So, we'll take like 6 days. We'll take a topic from the scriptures and we'll speak about that.
Wow.
So, that's for the general public. So, anybody can come in that. So, that is what we have currently. And in our Durban ashram, we have Bal Vihar classes for little children. And our Brahmacharini, another Brahmacharini who stays there, Brahmacharini Kaushiki, she takes care of that.
Okay. How does the organization engage with people of different ages, especially youth, especially children and youth?
Yeah, so it is through these programs, these Bal Vihar programs, our youth classes going to campus. Of course, after the COVID, these things need to restart.
Mm.
So we do have these things in place. Also, Swamiji does 1 month SUP course, a self unfoldment program, in which we encourage youth to come. So it's basically a very short program where you stay at the ashram and you get a glimpse of staying in an ashram, what it is to stay in an ashram, what is the life there, the disciplines, and also getting some idea of what the scripture is. So we have that in place also.
In what ways does Chinmaya Mission support the communities it operates in beyond spiritual teachings?
So that, as I said, was the Nourish to Flourish program.
Okay.
So the Nourish to Flourish, that is through the Nourish to Flourish. So what happens there every day?
Mm-hmm.
Um, those. So we have a team. Okay, so those teams, they actually go out to people's houses and they do like an interview and see, are the people really needing it or not? And based on that, they are brought to the mission. And in that, it is not just feeding; it is a program where our brahmacharins they give talks, little talks every day. They do some chanting with them every day. They listen to some satsang every day, and so like that, um, the bond is formed with the community, and they also have their different activities along with their eating. Yeah.
Okay.
And like
What
that
is
also, um, many people volunteer their seva and come. So lots of people get involved like that. Mhm.
okay? What are some of the foundational teaching that Chinmaya Mission emphasizes in its classes or discourses?
So we have our philosophy, our Sanatan Dharma. So what is the core teaching of that? That is what we like to emphasize. So there's structured uh, way of teaching to come to the understanding of how we are more than just this body, more than somebody who takes rebirth also, and how it is to understand ourselves as the ultimate truth, and what are the logics to that. And that is the main teaching, is to know our own self, okay, to come back to our own identity and to know who we are. That is what is the main teaching of these scriptures. Although there are many aspects part of our teaching, such as because we are the only religion, if I say, that believes in avatar, okay, that there's a form of God. Why there's a form of God? What are the levels of God? What's the understanding of that? What's the understanding of us? What's the relationship between us and God, between us and world? So things like that. So lots of things get clarified.
Okay, how does Chinmaya Mission address challenges related to stress, anxiety, or emotional well-being?
Through our satsang. So
Okay.
through the satsang, okay, when we listen to satsang, we will come to realize that the person who is listening, that person is the one who is worrying. That's the person, the one who's feeling anxious. That's the person who's feeling stressed. So when we listen to satsang, we come to know why, who is the one that's feeling stressed? Why is there reason to feel stressed? Why is there anxiety? So all of these gets cleared out when we listen to proper satsang. So proper
Wow.
notions, proper thinking comes by satsang only. So therefore, our very base in Chinmaya Mission is satsang, more than any other, festival or any other projects which may be there. But the main thing is satsang. The main thing is scriptures.
Could you explain the approach Chinmaya Mission takes in balancing traditional teachings with modern day relevance?
So, as I said, Gurudev wanted us to, we have very different techniques in approaching traditionally, I'd say, in from our culture, religion point of view, is where people would come to the ashram. They
Mhm.
would sit. Of course, that is there. We still do have that. But we also have online platforms. Instagram is
Okay.
there, Facebook is there, um, as I said, informal way of going to people's house. Generally, they're supposed to come to us, but we also go to them. That is there. Um, those things are definitely there. And outside camps, uh, retreats, things like that is there.
Okay.
That is all in place.
Okay. So, what are some of the goals that Chinmaya Mission hopes to achieve in the coming years?
So we hope that firstly, our Nourish to Flourish is a very big project. So by Gurudev's grace and with and God's grace and public support, we hope that will grow much more and not just limit ourselves to 2,000 people that should be fed. It should go to more people, and more support should come in that way. And also, more people should know Bhagavad Gita. More people should know the proper meaning of our shlokas in Bhagavad Gita. It should be out to many people. And many Hindus, especially in South Africa, we should feel proud about saying that we're Hindus. And we can do that if we know exactly what our principles are. So if someone has to ask you a question, we shouldn't say, this is what my father did, or this is what my mother did. That we should actually move away from that kind of thinking. We should be very well equipped um, with these. So we are hoping that we can reach many more people who are willing to listen. You may not enjoy it, but it's important to know what is it for us to have clear thinking and clarity. And as the question you asked about stress, anxiety, when we have proper thinking will lead to proper response.
Hmm.
Proper
Okay.
thinking, clarity will, and that comes from when we are clear about ourselves, and satsang will give that.
Okay. Are
Yeah.
there any new initiatives or expansions that the organization is working on?
Currently, no, not at the moment. In our Johannesburg ashram, we are a fairly small ashram here, so we do hope that with a lot of public support, that we can also grow this ashram.
Okay. How can someone interested in supporting or joining Chinmaya Mission get involved?
There's WhatsApp groups. There's WhatsApp groups available. There's our Instagram pages there. Facebook is quite there, Chinmaya Mission South Africa. That is the main thing. Johannesburg, we have LinkedIn, Chinmaya Mission on LinkedIn. We have also CMJ on Instagram, again on WhatsApp, and also we have YouTube channel Chinmaya Mission South Africa, in which Puja Swamiji's talks are there. His live talks also come on that, and if you go on that, there's a variety of topics, variety of Vedant texts which Swamiji has done, and all those talks are available on online, and yeah, and the details to contact us is also there.
Okay. What's one of the most memorable moments or experiences you've had while being with Chinmaya Mission?
I'd say is the 2 year Vedant course.
Okay.
So the 2 year Vedant course, as I said, it was the first time experience here in South Africa, and to experience something like that with that intensity, and to know that there's so much in our scriptures. There's so much for us to learn still, for us to appreciate and understand that today, if we are Hindus, we should be so grateful um, to our ancestors, to our people, our parents who have kept us on this path, which, however possible that they could. And yeah, being under a teacher, being under a proper teacher, a teacher who has come from our proper traditions, um, from our parampara, to be taught under that. We emphasize that you should be taught under parampara, under proper tradition and traditional teaching. So I think that was something, a very big experience, to actually be taught. As this, of course, we are not under a tree, but we still somewhere, and we still have a very qualified teacher who can teach us these things. And that is really, really the foundation of my life, and every kind of experience going forward.
Are there any specific success stories or transformations you've witnessed within the community?
So within the community, many people feel happy to serve. Many people are willing to come forward. What I've seen is that even if there's things that's done last minute, people are willing to come forward. And from my personal interactions with the people that have come in the ashram, they value satsang a lot. They have come to realize that many people have said that if they don't listen to satsang now every day, their day is incomplete. So when they refer to their life, and when they go through certain problems, now they also tell me, this was said in satsang, that is what we heard in satsang. So it is good to hear that satsang and the teachings of the scriptures are now coming part of people's lives. um, Whereas I'd say that you are the cause of my problem, or that person is the cause of my problem, or this is why I'm behaving like this. So now people within themselves are transforming, and that brings out a very positive outlook for themselves and within a family also, how they teach their children. So I have seen that parents have now emphasized it within their family, how they should start their day off, um, how it is important to do their japa, their puja, and their children are also being in that, and they also come and they listen to satsang. So they do have that foundation. Yeah.
Okay. All right. How the how does Chinmaya Mission celebrate or recognize milestones and achievements within the organization?
So generally, we don't do anything big. We do pujas. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
the main thing we do is Guru Paduka Puja. Guru Paduka Puja is the padukas of our Puja Gurudev. The what we say, the shoes or the sandals which he used to use, that is called padukas. And there is a ritual where you do puja. How you do puja of a murti, you do puja of the padukas, and which represents our Puja Gurudev and his thoughts and sankalp for his vision. So that should come in us. So whenever we reach something, or it should come out of gratefulness and gratitude. So by doing these Guru Paduka Puja, we are offering our gratitude to our Puja Gurudev for allowing us to complete these milestones.
Okay. How does Chinmaya Mission foster a sense of community amongst its members and volunteers?
So there, Swamiji always emphasizes that satsang is the base. Okay, before doing any seva, a person should listen to satsang, because without satsang, your seva won't have any vision.
Mm.
And in that, that is where fight will start. That is where ego will come into picture.
Mm.
That is where position comes into picture. So that should not be there. And therefore, we emphasize first thing is satsang, and then you get involved in seva. So because as I said earlier, when you
Mm-hmm.
get involved with other people, okay, your nature comes out, this person's nature comes out, my
Mm.
nature comes out. So to this person wants it in this ways, this one has another idea. So how do we not get entangled in such things? So the base is satsang, it is seva, and we have a vision, and we have meetings, and we all talk to each other properly, and that's how amongst the people that are actually here in the mission. So if you do come at any time, you will see that there is a coordination going on amongst and proper communication going on amongst the teams that are there.
Okay. Finally, my last question to you is: what advice would you give to someone looking to deepen their own spiritual practices?
Okay, first thing is, why do you want it? You should know why. Okay, that is very important, because many people read Bhagavad Gita or any other scripture, but they don't have a goal of why they are reading. Okay, um, so you should know why. Okay, um, then second would be you should find out. You should find out. Very important is to find out, is my thinking correctly, or what? How can I know more about it? Okay, what is form? What is, if I have to say, why do we celebrate Ram Navami, or why do we celebrate Janmashtami? Okay, what is the logics behind those things? So if I want to know, okay, why am I doing this puja?
Mm.
Why do I have to fast? What is this? So when you start inquiring, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'd say inquiring. So when you start inquiring very, very sincerely,
Mm-hmm.
uh, you would get the right guide. So sincere in when you inquire sincerely, God sees, Bhagwan sees that intention, and He will not mislead you. So He'll definitely lead you to a person whom you are comfortable hearing, and you are comfortable getting guidance from. So first thing, you should know why you want anything higher. Okay, be clear on that. Set your intentions, and then from that you start looking. Okay, who does your mind settle with? Whom are you prepared to settle and listen? Okay, ideally, which I would say from my personal experience, you should go to a proper authorized acharya. Many people are there. Many people are very popular. Okay, very popular people are there, especially on media, but not necessarily that they come from a proper tradition. Actually, those who come from tradition, they are actually authorized for scriptures, and not from someone who just comes, okay, I read this book, this is my experience, this is my, so let me start explaining to others. That is not given in our scriptures. Our tradition in scriptures is you learn from a teacher, and that person, so that is how the tradition goes on. So I would advise that you listen to satsang from a proper and authorized acharya, a teacher, to give that information. Because lots of people, uh, especially with Bhagavad Gita, and I will not name them, they're very misinformed and very popular,
Mm.
and people follow. But that's not the meaning, or that's not what that context is. So yeah, so I would definitely, um, if those who do want to have serious studies, want to seriously take, seriously have a spiritual life, not that, okay, now I'm okay, everything is going like good in my life, so I'm fine. When everything goes down, then I am searching, and then when everything goes back, then I forget. No, it's not like that. If you seriously want, then definitely find out why, and then you will get a proper guide.
Thanks so much for your time, and hopefully, should new things happen in the future, I would love to have another chat with you if that's cool with you.
Yes, that is fine. Thank you for having me, Siddharth.
You're most welcome.